How do you do? I'm very happy to have this personal visit with you. Won't you be seated, please?
You're carrying an invisible chain around your mind right now. It doesn't feel heavy in the moment. It doesn't clank when you move, but it holds you back from every dream, every breakthrough, every level of greatness you were born to claim. That chain is the mental lock, the silent barrier you've built between who you are and who you could become. It's not poverty, not circumstance, not other people holding you down. It's the beliefs you've accepted as truth, the limits you've mistaken for laws, the doubts you've allowed to masquerade as wisdom. That mental lock keeps you circling the same mountain, seeing the same struggles, living the same small story while your soul screams for expansion. You feel it every time you shrink from opportunity, every time you convince yourself, that's not for me, every time you settle for good enough when extraordinary calls your name. That's not coincidence. That's the lock doing its job, protecting the familiar prison you've called home. Your mind is the most powerful force in creation, but left untrained, it becomes its own jailer. It builds walls out of can't, shouldn't, and never. It forges chains from I'm not ready, I don't deserve, and what if I fail? And the cruelest deception, those chains feel like safety, they feel like reason, they feel like reality, but they're none of those things. They're illusions, powerful illusions that you've mistaken for truth. The mental lock thrives on repetition. Every time you think a limiting thought and let it pass unchallenged, the lock tightens. Every time you replay a past failure without extracting its lesson, another bar appears on your cell. Your brain doesn't care about your potential. It cares about patterns. And if the pattern is small thinking, small results become inevitable. You were not born with that lock. You installed it. Piece by piece, belief by belief, excuse by excuse. Parents who meant well but limited their vision. Teachers who graded potential instead of igniting it. Friends who normalized mediocrity to feel comfortable in their own. Society that worships safety over significance. Each one handed you a key you never should have accepted, and now you carry it like it's yours. But here's the power most never claim. You hold the key to unlock it. The same mind that built the prison can dismantle it. The same force that forged the chains can shatter them. It begins with one act of defiance, questioning the beliefs you've never challenged. Ask yourself right now, what am I believing that's keeping me locked? I'm too old to start. I don't have the education. People like me don't succeed. Those aren't facts. They're programming, and programming can be rewritten. The mental lock convinces you that your past predicts your future. But your past doesn't own you. It instructs you. Every setback was a lesson, not a life sentence. Every failure was training, not termination. But if you let those experiences define your limits, instead of expanding your wisdom, you hand them the key to your cage. Unlocking begins with declaration. Speak truth to the lie. When the mind says you can't, reply, I will learn how. When it says, you're not enough, declare, I am exactly who I need to be right now. Repetition rewires reality. Words become weapons. Belief becomes breakthrough. The lock also feeds on isolation. When you surround yourself with minds still chained, breaking free feels like betrayal. But growth always offends the stagnant. You must seek those who've already unlocked theirs, people who think bigger, act bolder, live freer. Their energy becomes contagious. Their belief becomes your blueprint. You cannot rise alone when surrounded by anchors. The mental lock loves company. It convinces you that staying small is loyalty. But true friends celebrate your expansion, not your excuses. Choose your influences as carefully as you choose your destiny. Visualize the lock breaking. See yourself stepping beyond the bars of limitation. Feel the freedom of a mind unchained, expansive, creative, unstoppable. That image isn't fantasy, it's instruction. Your subconscious takes every vivid picture you give it and works to make it physical. Hold that vision daily until the mental barriers dissolve. The greatest deception of the mental lock is that freedom lies outside you. in money, relationships, achievements. Lies. True freedom begins between your ears. External success without internal liberation is just a prettier prison. Unlock your mind first, and the world rearranges itself to match your expansion. Every champion who ever lived faced the same lock you face now. The difference: they refused to accept it as permanent. They hammered at their doubts until belief broke through. They questioned every impossible until possibility became inevitable. You possess the same power. The question is whether you'll use it. The mental lock whispers that change is too hard, too slow, too uncertain. But stagnation is harder. Regret is slower. Mediocrity is the greatest uncertainty of all. The pain of discipline today is temporary. The pain of unclaimed potential lasts forever. Breaking the lock requires persistence, daily defiance of old patterns. When doubt arises, act anyway. When fear tightens the chain, breathe through it. When the mind replays limitation, replace it with possibility. Each act of courage loosens the mechanism. Each victory rewrites the rules. You must also forgive the past, not for its sake, but for yours. Holding on to old wounds keeps the lock engaged. Release them. They serve their purpose. Now let them go so you can grip what's ahead. The mental lock cannot survive a mind obsessed with growth. Feed it daily with new knowledge, bold actions, expansive thinking. Starve it of complaint, comparison, and comfort. What you focus on expands, so focus on freedom. Imagine standing on the other side of that lock, powerful, purposeful, at peace with your potential. No more second guessing, no more self-imposed ceilings. Just clear vision, directed energy, and the quiet certainty of someone who knows their mind serves their mission, not their fear. That life isn't reserved for others. It's waiting for your decision to unlock it. The key has always been yours. You've simply been afraid to use it. Fear the lock more than you fear the unknown. Fear small thinking more than you fear bold action, because a chained mind creates chained results, while a free mind builds free futures. Right now, declare war on your limitations. Question every belief that binds you. Act against every doubt that defines you. Speak possibility until it drowns out probability. The mental lock only holds as long as you believe it does. The moment you decide it's an illusion, the moment you pick up the key and turn it, freedom floods in. You were never meant to live locked. You were born to expand, to create, to conquer. The cage was never real. It was just unchallenged thought. Challenge it now. Unlock yourself now. Live unlimited now. Because the world doesn't need another prisoner of the mind. It needs you, unchained, unafraid, unstoppable. The key is in your hand. Turn it.